Ready? Harry, you ready?
Yep.
All right, guys. I think this is our 5th recording of the Bluebeam Academy podcast. I'm Christopher, and I'm joined by my co-founders at Marked and of the Blueprint Academy, Harry Dennington and Brian BK Clubbin.
Good morning.
Today, we wanted to talk a little bit about the 3 most common issues that we have found in our careers and over this last little while of the Marked Up journey in the architectural and construction drawings that we've reviewed. Again, this is our perspective, but at the same time, maybe you guys have ideas on what are more common. And I thought that we would start with what I broadly describe as kind of missing info or like broken links. And I think that this is kind of one of those ones where maybe most people would think, oh no, it's like the duct is flashing with the column or something like that. Like, I think that that's less what we see or what I've seen. And mostly it's somebody forgot to finish updating a schedule or added tags somewhere but never finished the keynotes, or vice versa. I wanted to throw that out to you guys. And is this super common, the most common? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think any of us in the room are architects, right? So we're gonna guess a little bit here, but I will agree with you that a lot of what seems to be missing from plans seem to be simple things in some cases, like you mentioned a duct, right? Let's just go off that. Do you find like ducts missing the size, right? How seems like a very simple thing, but now we're going down this assumption path. You know, the estimator's got to assume the size. We're not supposed to scale drawings ever. So then it gets into shop drawings, right? They're assuming a size, and it could be right, it could be wrong, who knows? But there's a step there to correct that. And, you know, what if it's grossly different? Then all of a sudden they have a bid that's incorrect. And then maybe they got to give them a credit, or maybe there's an ad. And then the worst case is if it gets to the field that way and it's wrong, then now we're talking about replacing a piece of work. You know, and that's kind of how missing information can domino into a bigger issue. And that's, you know, what we're trying to prevent. What do you think, Harry? Any experience with that?
Yeah, well, on the assumption path, something that I've seen a lot of in construction drawings, which still surprises me that in 2025 we're seeing this, but placeholder texts over dimension lines or contractor to verify. I don't understand why these are making it to ready for construction drawings. It just seems lazy to me. You know, I know that things have to progress as the build goes on, but you know, there's so many times we'll get the site drawings and the team will be there, and there'll be an element with contractor to verify, and then it's a whole nother RFI, and it's more wasted time on site. So placeholders, I think they've got to go.
Heard it here. Placeholders and IFC sets are out. I love that. Okay, so missing info. These are, I actually, I remember this, but these were my least favorite things to do. I'm sure you guys both done this a million times. It's like if I had to check callouts. Now, back in my day when we used to print the sets and we didn't have like hyperlinks in Bluebeam, I think that came out actually like a few years into my career. That's probably dating BK and I a little bit. Like laptops were new. But like the task was get a piece of paper and remember, use your brain, write down, okay, I have to look at page A1.1, whatever. And I have this call out reference 3 on A 9.3, whatever. And I'm going to have to keep slipping through the pages. Oh, that sucked. I just absolutely hated doing that. And so maybe, I'm sure many people aren't doing that today. There's the digital version of that, clicking on the hyperlink, going there and trying to remember where you just came from. But anyways, something that I thought was, gave me a little bit of a chuckle of this missing information, how long it just takes a human to do it. Totally stinks.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go on to the next one here. This one really sucks, or at least because it requires so much more effort. So you kind of have the first problem that I said, which is, all right, maybe the tag is missing in the schedule, but back to like that wrong info and then understanding contextually what you're supposed to be looking at. So let's pretend you're looking at a section or an elevation or something like that. And that slice is taking you through what you think is a part of the building, which might have a balcony and whatever. But then you go to the detail and it's like something completely different. Like there's no balcony or like window or whatever. It's like a whole other thing. You're like, is this even this project?
Yeah. 100%.
I don't know if you guys have ever had to deal with that.
Well, I mean, if you tuned into my episode on the podcast, this is why Marked Up was born. You know, I ordered straight off the schedule. I was ordering off the plan. So I was in the schedule and I was looking for, there were like some bayonet windows, and I ordered what was in the schedule. It was like 53 or something, not checking the drawings, being a, you know, naive cadet. And in fact, there was only 45, and there was a massive miscommunication on the schedule. Ended up costing my company a lot of money. And, you know, that's just something that needs to stop.
Yeah, agreed. I would also like to add to that too. It's like when information takes you down a wrong path, you're wasting a ton of time trying to chase it down. And then, like, I think, like you mentioned, you're trying to find the right information. So how much time is spent going down these rabbit holes trying to figure out what details are correct? And then to your point, Chris, back in our day, writing that stuff down on a notepad, and then you got to try and communicate that to the design team that something's wrong here, and I'm going to walk you down this path. I mean, that's just kind of the unfortunate aspects of these issues, is that there's so much time lost. And what does that cost the job? You know, those are things that the GC is supposed to be, manage, right? And that's built into their, their budget, right? But now that they're spending time correcting things, they're not spending time building things. And that's ultimately what the owner's really paying for.
Yep. It's kind of remarkable to me, but that whole context is incorrect thing, wrong info on the other side of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the schedule says 53, but the drawing window bayonet, whatever window number it was, count was 45. I forget what you said. All that's really freaking annoying because it implies that, look, let's not point the fingers at the architects, but they're so busy. There's multiple designers on these projects. Things are getting handed off. And so anyways, all right, let's go to the last one here. Actually, I think this one's up for debate. Harry, you called out dimension lines. We've heard spelling mistakes, little things like that. What sucks more? Poor spelling and grammar, or I actually already know the answer. Incorrect dimensions.
And they suck. I don't think there's anything worse. And again, it comes back to, you know, wasting everyone's time. I clearly remember the plan area having a door opening at, 2 meters, and you get to the detail. The contractors are out, subbies are out on the field building to the detail, which is 1.8. They build to 1.8, and then we go, oh my goodness, the door is not going to fit, and I've just poured a concrete column. Like this is the sort of thing that I think is the biggest pain in construction at the moment. Incorrect dimensions between details and the plans.
You're not wrong, Harry. I hate spelling mistakes, but ultimately they don't really change the outcome of a project. I think it just deteriorates the confidence in the drawings, if you will. But yeah, dimensions by far are way more important, because you're right. How many times has a door been put in the wrong place, a column been put in the wrong place? That all becomes change orders, right? That all becomes extra. It all becomes waste on the job. So yeah, dimensions, that's the winner there.
All right, I absolutely love it. So what we covered, guys, we covered 3 of our biggest bugbears when it comes to drawing review. And, we're now getting into the flow of Bluebeam Academy, which is missing info. When you have some tag, something signifying that thing should be somewhere else and it doesn't exist, that's really annoying. Wrong information. The context of what you're looking at relative to the thing that they think that you're looking at, you're supposed to be looking at, is in itself wrong. And the headaches that that just causes, because, as you had said, Harry, it's however long it takes for the architect or designer to get, or the engineer, whoever, to get back to you. And then I think probably this is the most costly, unless you guys differ or disagree, is incorrect dimensions. If that is off, or there's a discrepancy between one thing and another thing, what's the thing that we're supposed to do? And oh shit, we did that thing, and now we're kind of in the hole for it, or the owner's in the hole for it, and we're gonna have to redo work again, causing delays and unnecessary spending. All right, guys, this has been another great catch up. I love it. We'll catch up with you guys next week. Thank you very much.
Thank you.